We start the day's other headlines with the impact of President Trump's tariffs. The nation's largest retailer, Walmart, is planning to raise prices in the coming weeks, citing Trump's policies as a driving factor. Walmart's head said today that, quote, given the magnitude of the tariffs, we aren't able to absorb all the pressure given the reality of narrow retail margins. Walmart posted strong quarterly sales today, but declined to give a profit outlook due to ongoing economic uncertainty. In the meantime, consumers are growing increasingly uneasy. New government data shows that the pace of retail sales slowed sharply in April from the month before.
On this episode of Code Blue in America, the breaking news segment. Tariff turmoil hits the main street in 2025. How President Trump's trade blitz upended U.S. retail supply chains. And here are the facts. From May through August 2025, the Trump administration rolled out a sweeping round of tariffs that hit imports like a sledgehammer to the U.S. retail supply chain. We're not talking about a gentle economic nudge here, we're talking about container traffic slowing at major U.S. ports, price tags creeping upward, and some retail executives sounding like they've been forced into part-time roles as supply chain crisis managers. Let's start with the numbers, because numbers, unlike political spin, don't roll their eyes when questioned. By June, US ports had handled roughly 1.96 million 20-foot equivalent units, that's TEUs for the logistics nerds, representing an 8.4% year-over-year drop. Analysts and trade groups linked much of that slowdown to tariff uncertainty and importers rethinking where and how they source goods. By July, shipments from China in particular took a noticeable dip, showing that companies weren't just sitting on their hands, they were rerouting, delaying, or stockpiling in anticipation of more trade turbulence. Now, when it comes to the checkout counter, the effects didn't take long to show up. Core inflation measures ticked up in late July, and economists pointed directly at tariff costs being passed along to consumers. That's the polite economic way of saying, we didn't raise prices because we felt like it, we raised them because your government told us to pay more for stuff. Major retailers didn't take this lying down. Walmart, Target, Home Depot, TJX, they all went public with warnings that tariffs would raise costs. Target even trimmed its guidance, while Walmart floated the idea of hiking prices. But instead of simply throwing their hands in the air, companies started playing tariff Tetris, switching suppliers, sourcing directly from factories, and rethinking product assortments to minimize the hit. And then there's the viral claim, my personal favorite in the category of social media just made that up, that Walmart had shut its doors nationwide because of the tariffs. The truth? Not even close. Walmart issued denials. Fact checkers found the so-called evidence was mostly old footage, local store closures, or random unrelated videos slapped with a breaking tariff shutdown. Headline. In other words, internet gossip with a side of outdated B-roll. Yes, individual stores closed as they always do for reasons like poor performance or lease issues, but a nationwide tariff-driven shutdown? That's pure clickbait fiction. The timeline tells the story clearly. Mid-May CEOs warned tariffs would mean higher prices and forced sourcing changes. Late May to June, trade bodies and retailers met with the White House, warning about empty shelves and rising costs. June into July, port traffic from China fell sharply, sourcing plans shifted, and SKU changes started hitting store shelves. Late July, official data confirmed the early stages of cost pass-through to consumers. August, more tariff announcements and continued policy uncertainty kept retail planners on high alert heading into the holiday season. The political angle? The administration publicly urged retailers to eat the tariffs, which, for those who don't speak corporate survival, means absorb the costs and smile while doing it. At the same time, they defended the tariffs as a long-term industrial strategy to reshore American manufacturing. The problem is, while you might win in the long run, the short run still includes higher prices, strained supply chains, and frustrated consumers. And the rollout didn't come with much of a buffer for those short-term pains. No tax credits, no targeted consumer relief, no concrete plan for how to bridge the gap. Meanwhile, the information gap between what retailers were saying and what political leaders were promising created a perfect petri dish for misinformation. And boy, did it grow viral clips, exaggerated claims, and flat-out false shutdown stories made the rounds faster than an online shopping cart on Black Friday. So here's where we are. Tariffs with real economic bite. Retailers scrambling to adapt. Consumers quietly paying more. And social media fueling a false narrative that doesn't match reality. And that is the cold truth on Code Blue in America. Only on OGM News. I'm Sarah. See you next time.
All right, friends, here's the deal. We need your support to level up our game. How can you help? Simple. Like, share, and drop a comment. Shower us with your love, your applause, or even your brutally honest displeasure. We can take it, we promise. Your feedback fuels us, even if it stings a little. And before you dash off, go ahead and smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Heck, if you're feeling retro, send us a carrier pigeon or a smoke signal. Stay awesome, stay witty, and we'll see you next time.